Can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you from the Sports Money Network. This is Ramon Scott coming to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, with the Morning Steam Show for Monday, March the 10th. It's championship week, and we're getting ready for conference tournament play in the big conferences this week. We've got a few to wrap up from the mid-majors tonight. Semifinals and finals action in several conferences. We determine a few more teams ready to advance to the NCAA tournament. And we've also got, a huge NBA card, because why not? We always just want to play 11 NBA games on a Monday night. Seems like the right thing to do, stuffing these games in here after the All-Star break. Got to play them sometime. So, and 4 games on the ice tonight. And appreciate everyone joining me here for the show. Let everybody roll in here, get our week started. How'd you do yesterday on Sunday with some of our championship games? We rolled another under there in the Missouri Valley Conference. That alone should make it worth coming here to watch the morning steam every day, the way we rolled those unders and kept you abreast of all those trends in the conference tournaments. We got a few more here to talk about today, certainly, but we had a good time on the show yesterday with some of the picks, I thought, here on the show, including that Missouri Valley Conference championship game, as we went with that under, and Drake wins again for the 3rd consecutive year. Drake in the Missouri Valley over Bradley yesterday. We had the total over with Furman and Chattanooga yesterday. Also a winner with Troy in the Sun Belt. But about Arkansas State with impressive performance there to win their end of the Sun Belt yesterday. And also about some other winners we had in the Patriot League with Navy and Bucknell game to go over here on the show. And then we went under in Colgate and American to sweep the Patriot League totals. We also had the under in the A-Sun final between North Alabama and Lipscomb. Lipscomb going back to the NCAA tournament for the 2nd time there. So hopefully you guys had a good day. Say hello to some folks here in the chat and see how we're going to get started on a Monday. Thomas Lewis was here first. He's my right-hand man. He says, good morning, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Where are the channels? Where are they going? Here we are on the Sports Money Network, ready for another week of sports betting, broadcasting, and can't wait for this conference tournament action to get going here in our major conferences here. But also we got some spots to determine tonight. Robert McCormick is here today. Good morning to Old E, Joe W, 0 times Parasite, our new friend here. Thank you for joining us. Blue, .od.odi, and here's Nick Handy as well. All right. Appreciate you guys joining me here in the chat. And, hey, what were the big headlines there overnight? Probably, maybe, just perhaps, how about the Pittsburgh Steelers getting DK Metcalf in the fold? Big move there for the Steelers. Who will be the quarterback of the Steelers this season with the dual 14s there? And that was, I thought, one of the big headlines, certainly there on Sunday, at least outside of the results in the NBA and NHL. But NBA yesterday, we did have some strong plays. I think what we kind of rolled here on the show. We did have the Oklahoma City Thunder to cover the spread against the Denver Nuggets. Here on the show yesterday, we also had the Phoenix Suns over the Dallas Mavericks. They got it done there as well. We had the Pelicans plus the points against the Grizzlies here on the show yesterday. We had the Timberwolves to roll over the Spurs. We had Pistons and Trailblazers game to go over, and we had the Sacramento Kings. So a real strong night there with our picks here on the show. Just one loser, really. I think. What was it? Oh, did we win them all? Did we win them all? Oh, I'm sorry. The Cavaliers and the Bucks game. Uh, but you know what? I had the over. I didn't get the win there, so no big deal. I only went 6-1 yesterday. We did take one game off, but the Jazz and the Sixers didn't preview. But you know what? In that Cavaliers Bucks game, my only loss yesterday here on the show, it was a team consensus coming through with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Great job, gang. Made sure we had a winner in every game yesterday here on the show. Nice job picking up the slack for my one loss on the NBA card. Also, NHL. I thought we had winners up and down the card yesterday here on the show. So hopefully you're coming in for some picks. New Jersey Devils yesterday over Philadelphia was our pick here on the show. We also had the Penguins and the Wild game to go under. Capitals on that puck line wins it over Seattle 4-2. Also, Columbus Blue Jackets. I had it. You had it. Team consensus. You guys had it with that underdog on the road yesterday, and a great performance from you guys in that one. So other sports yesterday, we had the golf and the tennis yesterday. I thought was pretty good. Christopher Bell, NASCAR. I didn't have him. I faded him. Who's going to win 3 races in a row? This man right here. Not only that, remember one of them was a road course. So Phoenix had 11 cautions in the race, but I enjoyed watching it and a couple of big multi-car wrecks in that one. But Bell holds off the challenges on that final restart lap to win the race by a nose for his 3rd straight win. Impressive there for sure. Russ Henley, 50-foot chip shot eagle on 16 wins at the Arnie to come back to beat Colin Morikawa. You know, kind of, Colin, he kind of gets a little choked up there sometimes on some of these, supposed to be able to drain these putts and everything, but Russell Henley gets the win yesterday there in golf. All right, let's see who else is here. Run the commercial, get started with the show. Yes, we're starting with conference tournament action today, certainly. Bummer news about Garrett Cole, but doesn't look like I don't know. When you're told you need Tommy John surgery and you think you need a second opinion, you're going to miss the season. Pretty much is what it feels like. All right. Let me know of any other great headlines yesterday. Hello to Joe T in the chat as well. Thank you, Joe. All right. Hey, you can get my plays over at winnable.com. Get plays from me every day direct to your phone, device, computer when you subscribe to my plays for just $19.95 a month. It's just 50 cents a day, and we did come through with some winners yesterday for sure. In the NBA, we had Phoenix and Dallas game to go over as a premium pick winner yesterday. And we had some also winners in college basketball with our premium picks, including Texas A&M, Corpus Christi to roll. We had Rutgers over Minnesota yesterday with a premium pick selection. Head over to winnable.com or click that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen to get my best plays every day over at winnable.com. All right, and get to the action today, shall we? And get rolling with our coverage of college basketball to start. We've got conference tournament finals and semifinals here on mid-major Monday. So let's go to it here. There we go. All right. Anyways, there we go. Winnable.com/Ramon. Get plays directly to your phone from me every day. There's a free subscription over there as well. We didn't hit it yesterday with my auto racing picks, that's for sure. But, we do send out some other plays over there, including Major League Baseball spring training, college baseball. We come through with some winners and keep plays coming to your phone every day. Just sit here in the satellite studios, watching games all day, handicapping games, and that's how we do it. So appreciate you guys joining me here on the show. Hopefully have a bunch of free winners here in just a moment, but you can get my picks over at Winnable. Use that promo code STEAM to save 20%. Okay, appreciate you listening to that. And T. Moss, hello. Thank you for being here. And Doubles is here today as well. So we've got plenty of the chat all-stars. Got about 3 dozen of you in here. So I think we can start the show here for a Monday and start talking college basketball here today. Let's get rolling with the top of the board. Semifinals action in the Coastal between Delaware and Towson. Towson here has moved higher off of this number up to 6 now, and total sneaking up here to 145.5. A little bit of move on Towson here as they get started in the event. Towson had a pretty big season for sure. Delaware, talk about a roller coaster ride. Remember, they started off pretty hot this season, looked pretty good there in non-conference play, started pretty good, I think, in conference play, then tailspin big time, and ended up late in the season just looking awful down the stretch. Delaware came into the conference tournament 1-11 straight up over their last 12 games, but now they've won 3 in a row here to remain hot in the tournament with wins over Stony Brook, Campbell, and Bill and Mary. Also for Towson here, they come in on a 4-game winning streak, won their conference tournament opener over Drexel 82-76 yesterday. They got the money in that one. I said started today, but you know what I mean. They got the bye. They got the early bye in the tournament. Let's see what that score was exactly there. Yeah. Yeah. And Towson got the money, of course. So Delaware, though, won the last 3 nights, averaging 86.3 points per game in those wins. They scored 100 against William and Mary. So even though they finished 8-13 in conference play, here they are against 17-2 Towson. They won 22 games this season. Towson won 16 of their last 17 games after their own slow start that saw them get off to just a 6-9 start. In fact, they had a 6-game losing streak way back in December, but their fortunes changed. They're a great rebounding team, especially on the offensive glass. Meanwhile, the Blue Hens are not great at rebounding here, but they're getting only 6 here. And Towson, they have a great balance. They don't have they have good players, but it feels like they have a lot of depth. Towson won both meetings this season, 75-70, laying 6.5. They didn't get the money in that one at home, winning by just 5. And they also beat Delaware at Delaware by 10 points, laying 2 points back in late January. Towson's won 6 of the last 9 meetings in this series. Delaware, mostly an over team, especially here at 12-8 to the over as an underdog. Let's see if you're going to like this one with Delaware and Towson. I'm going to the chat to see what you guys have here. And who's playing in the coastal? Thank you, Terrell, for being here. Blue is on Towson. Robert is on Towson here. All right. And good morning to our Tom's ready to roll on a Monday. All right. I think I'll be ready to go here in just a second here. Just want to set things up here for the rest of our games too. All right, you guys are all over kind of it feels like all over Towson in this one, or at least our members of the chat. Here's Terrell also with Towson here by double digits. So you guys got uh, Delaware here. It feels like is a little bit of a fluke to get to this point. They scoring big, but they might give it up big time too here, right? Against Towson. Towson, not necessarily a great spread team, but maybe they were a little bit overrated to a certain extent. Robert is leaning over. My pick will be on the over here in this one. Look, if Delaware is scoring even a little bit here, I've got to consider this one as an over. Delaware's been scoring some big points, but they might give up some points here too to Towson. It feels like in this one. So AOD, hello. And we've got a consensus here on Towson, anyways, with you guys for sure. 3, maybe 4 of you there. So that's a consensus in our book. And Towson by 4 for New York City VAR. Is that video assisted replay? All right. So I will take the over here as my pick, and you guys are going to be on Towson here. I don't mind it. I'm maybe saving a play for later, one way or the other. I'll just leave it at that. And the consensus here is on Towson, and I'll go ahead and take the total. Okay. There we go in the Colonial underway here now. Let's go to the next one right now with College of Charleston here in this one. And they're taking on my pick to win the Colonial Tournament Championship game, North Carolina Wilmington. Well, it's easy to take North Carolina Wilmington, at least I would think, isn't it, folks, in this one? Might not necessarily be overly popular play, but if you're going to pick somebody here in this conference tournament game, or in this conference tournament, could do worse than Wilmington here. Let's talk about this matchup between Charleston and Wilmington today and see what you guys have in this one. You've got Wilmington here by, let me see if this one has moved. It's 4 and probably 147 still. I see some books maybe a half a point higher, maybe some books half a point lower here. So, yeah, look, I like Wilmington, and I picked Wilmington to win this tournament. Now, maybe a little bit rise in the number here at 140. Like I said, 147. I think 147 and a half is probably a pretty safe number to call it out on right now there. But definitely a little bit of a move here so far. Bet Online opened it up 3, Bovada 3.5, DraftKings currently at 3.5, but Bovada's already up to 4.5. So definitely a slight move here on Wilmington coming into this one. Get your plays ready in the chat for this matchup between Charleston and Wilmington. Wilmington has covered 4 straight games right now, looking pretty good here. I think the plays are already coming in. Let's see what we got. Got Bobby Mack here. He wants to go with Wilmington. And Terrell says, you got to consider with uh, uh, College of Charleston and their game last night against Monmouth. Uh, there, they didn't cover, right? They didn't cover that number. They drew the steam yesterday, but they couldn't get it done there against Monmouth in a high-scoring game. And let's see here. Our Thompson's on Wilmington. Are we going to have double consensus here with Wilmington? In is here. Nice to have in here. Joining the chat all-stars today. Thank you. In says Wilmington by 7. That's another cover. Well, I think we know where this one's going. I mean, it basically is 4-0 again here for the favorite here in the Colonial. Wow. All right. Well, I guess I got to make my call here, but man, you guys are saying a lot here with taking these favorites so far in the Coastal. Maybe that's why. All right. There it is. Thomas said it. I was just waiting for Thomas to make it official. Wow. 2 consensus plays in the Coastal here with, and look, if I'm on them to win the tournament, I guess I'll take them. I'll lay it with you guys. That's what I'll do. I kind of like the total as a premium. So let me just leave it at that with this matchup and go with Wilmington here. Wilmington has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. They've also covered 5 straight games against College of Charleston. And NYC VAR says under in this game. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under between Charleston and Wilmington. But I'm going to go with Wilmington with you guys here in this one. All right, I think that we got enough from you guys on the chat there. Thanks a lot, everybody. And I'm going to take I'm going with you guys. I'm going with Team Steam here. We just didn't get, by the way, the consensus parlay yesterday. Let me see there. The losing play here yesterday. Let me see if I have it here. It was in basketball. North Alabama. North Alabama yesterday against Lipscomb was a consensus play, and that was the only loss in that. What was it, a 5-teamer, I think? And we won the other 4, but just shows you how tough it is every day. Okay, Blue may be going under here in this one, maybe like that series history of the 4, the 5 under. I'm not sure for me yet. Well, I am, but I might have a premium, so I'm going to hold off on discussing the total because it's a big secret, and I've got a premium, I guess. All right, let me move on. That's it for the Coastal. Wow, we've got 2 games in Washington, D.C. tonight. Let's move to the Sun Belt Final with Arkansas State taking on Troy here in this championship game at the Sun Belt. Oh, there we go. The Sun Belt in Pensacola, Arkansas State, 15-5 in conference play, 24-9 overall. Troy, 15-5 in conference play, 22-10 overall. Arkansas State has won its last 5 games. They were going pretty bad before that. They had lost 4 or 5, but heated up just in time here to get to the Sun Belt Final. The Red Wolves have played close games here over the last 2 nights, winning by just 3 points in each of the last 2 games, including that game last night against South Alabama. South Alabama actually got the money. South Alabama was my pick to win the tournament, but Arkansas State did get there in that one. It did go over in that one. We tried the under here yesterday, trying to ride some of those Sun Belt trends. I don't know if all the Sun Belt totals trends that we discussed necessarily came through, I think is the way I would kind of look at it here. But this total has dropped dramatically overnight. Um, Maybe mostly the openers came in closer to this number, but the true openers were close to 141, even 142 and a half at DraftKings, and started to move immediately here. Uh, but it's back up here now to 138 and a half. It went all the way down to as low as 136, and we're starting to see some buyback here a little bit. Let's call it 138 and a half. And I think Arkansas State is down to a 1.5 point favorite right now. So maybe we can get your opinions from the chat all stars in this one. For Troy, they've won 5 straight games and 11 of their last 14 games overall. They do have problems with turnovers for sure, the Troy Trojans, but they're so good on the glass. But sometimes their interior defense, can be pretty strong for sure. Troy hasn't been to the tournament in 6 seasons, but Arkansas State hasn't been to the tournament in this decade. It's a big opportunity as a small favorite here tonight with Arkansas State and Troy. Let's go to the chat here in this one and take a look. The road team won both games this season. Troy's won 5 of the last 8 between the two teams. All right. You do have very good interior defenses here in this one, but let's see what we got here with this. All right, NYC VAR. Gonna go with Troy. We're gonna respect NYC VAR here, talking with us with great picks. And let's see here. He's won 3 nights with the RR bets. Okay, Blues on Troy also. There's Terrell with those scores. Thank you, Terrell. I was going to look them up here real quick, but oh yeah, no, you're right. The road team won both. You're right. Ignore it. Yeah, no, I got it. Those are the scores. Sorry about that, Terrell. Didn't mean to put you on the spot there. But right, I'm pretty right. The road team won both games, right? I don't need to re-look it up. Oh, I want to mention right now, you guys, real quick. Guess I could be wrong on this one, is what they're telling me. But right now, Delaware and Towson, we're seeing this game being steamed right now to the under. I just gave out the over, thinking I'm Mr. Totals, but the steam's coming in on the under. The Sharps are playing the under here. It looks like we're down to 144 right now. Definite move, Delaware and Towson. Also want to mention just before we're going on the air, because these moves are so important in conference play right now, but USF and Gonzaga was getting steamed right as we came on the air. 156 became 155. That was just as we were about to hit the air here. That game was getting steamed. So I just want to mention that real quick. I thought there was one other one. I'll see if I can get it here. Just as we were going, maybe just that one is all I've got for now. But no doubt, a Delaware and Towson here as well getting steamed. Oh, I know what it was. It was Oakland and Robert Morris was taking some steam right as we were coming on the air here as well to the under, but it's still 140 or so. Okay, let's not sweat it too much. Let's keep it going here. Let's get the plays. Here, Arkansas State and Troy. Let me go to the chats. We got some more Troy here. So far, Troy 3-0. It looks like we're gonna have all these. Oh, Bobby Mack, and it says Arkansas State, College Station also. Arkansas State here says Arkansas State money line. So that's good. That's as good as Arkansas State play. Blue may be liking the over here in this one with Troy and Arkansas State. All right, I better make my call here, I guess. All right. These small favorites, man, in the Sun Belt right now, these are the ones. Sun Belt last 7 years, favorites of 4.5 points or less, hitting at close to 65% in this tournament. I think that's it from you guys here. Blue says the lines are right on the number here in this one. Okay. All right. I got to make my call. We're obviously not going to get to a consensus here. It's almost split, it feels like, in this one. So I've got Arkansas State. Give me those Red Wolves.
Final.
As my play here on the Morning Steam show. Okay. Get caught up looking at my Chinese basketball scores. Couldn't quite get a package together there. Maybe just not. We were hot, but over the weekend we had to lay off with too much action. So kind of lost my focus on the CBA. All right. Blue says we need that AI.
Steam playing.
Who has Grok? Well, I got Grok, but you know what? I typed into Grok. I gotta wonder. I mean, look, we know that who runs a Grok, right? And then I was like, oh, let me see here. Let me fool around with Grok a little bit. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, right? So I'm like, okay, let's see. We know who owns Grok, and let me ask Grok some questions. But I thought Grok would kind of have it one way, and I said, what is a good source of fair news right? And so I figured Grok is probably going to be talking about X and Fox News, right? But Grok came back and said NPR, Reuters, BBC, AP, and C-SPAN. And I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like something Mr. Grok would say. So I don't know about Grok. All right. Here we go. Okay, so we're done in the Sun Belt. And we'll move now to the Southern Conference Final between Wofford and Furman. All right.
System playing.
Got a good one here at the SoCon in Asheville with Furman favored in this one by 2, maybe 2.5 right now. The total has gone up here to 37. Let's, I think we get up to, I'm going to call it 2.5 and 37. There we go. With Wofford and Furman here. So for Furman, they're the ones coming in on the big winning streak, of course. They're red hot coming in here right now. They've won 6 straight, went 5-1 against the spread in those 6 games. The Paladins are stroking from downtown right now. 17 of 29, 12 of 28 in their 2 tournament wins. Filling it up for sure against Chattanooga and Samford. Have gone for 95 in their opener. They covered as a 3-point dog. Then they beat Chattanooga 80-77 as a 1.5-point dog here. So Furman was able to reach the final here. We're a 3-point dog in that game. It went over for sure yesterday. We went with that over. for Wofford here. They've won 3 of their last 4, obviously, coming in, including a couple of tournament games over ETSU and VMI. They got the money in both of them. They easily covered against VMI yesterday in that game. I know that like I said, that was another. I talked about the North Alabama, but also VMI was a consensus play. Now, I don't know if I was getting there with you guys, but I had the under, and it wasn't going under for sure. The way that Wofford was able to fill it up yesterday, they basically stress-free in their 2 games to get here. The Wofford Terriers are one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They're a top 25 rebounding team statistically, but they also have not been to the NCAA tournament this century. So this is another huge game here. Can they break that curse a little bit? Furman just won the conference 2 years ago, so I've been there and done that. Furman loves to shoot it from downtown, and they did, end up Furman yesterday. Their starters all played over 33 minutes in the game. The road team won both of the games this season. Wofford won at Furman 81-62. They were a 7-point dog. Meanwhile, Furman won at Wofford 78-75 is a 3.5-point dog. Furman has won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the 2 teams, and that 78-75 game was just 9 days ago as Furman got the win and upset on the road at Wofford. Let's go to the chat and see what you think of this one between Wofford and Furman here today. Furman with this winning streak. All right, chat. Here we go with some members of the chat all-stars. Going to be blue going over here in this one. Furman for NYC Bar. And Wofford for Robert R. Thompson. Wofford.
Steam play.
Blue says, I got it under 142. Oh, was that this game or the other game? Because this one also very similar to Arkansas State and Troy, right? This total also a rapid dropper here, 3, 4, maybe even 5 points at some of the books. Now, like I said, the late opening books all open at a lower number, so make no mistake. Some books don't open those conference tournament games to lower limits, so they don't get beat there. Totally, I guess, is the way I guess I can put it. All right, fam, let's see here. I think that probably not a consensus there because you've got VAR on Furman and then a couple on Wofford. So, all right, I think that's going to be it from the chat all-stars. Look at these SoCon trends here a little bit coming into this one. I thought those trends held up pretty well that we gave out there, but man, this one to me looks a little bit tougher, but still Furman looks like the team here right now. Maybe the better team with this winning streak currently coming in. They not only winning, but covering for sure. They covered the game, like I said, against Wofford on the road. So, all right, I'm going to take Furman here to win this one.
Steam play.
And cover. All right, we do have some steam coming in right now in the next tournament. Let me first cover the steam, but I'll put up the matchups as well. But it's in the Horizon League. Youngstown State and Cleveland State. Thomas is getting steamed right now to the under. It's on the move here it was 139, but there's no doubt you go to the books right now and take a look. We're seeing this one move down to 138 right now at Circa here in Las Vegas. So definite move to the under here with Youngstown and Cleveland. But let's go with both the games here and start with the first game of the two. You've got Oakland taking on a red hot Robert Morris here. I mean, you're hot if you're in the game here, right? But Robert Morris, the number one seed in the Horizon, and playing this one in Indianapolis, of course. Robert Morris comes in here on the winning streak at this point. Bobby Morris tournament win here over Wright State. They've only had to win one here so far. Meanwhile, Oakland's had to win a couple here over Green Bay and Milwaukee, but Oakland got the money in both of them. They've done a very nice job here so far, but Robert Morris against the spread this season, one of the best teams in the country, ATS 24-7 overall. They've covered 9 of their last 10 coming in. They're also 13-5 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, for Oakland, 10-7 against the spread as an underdog. Give them their respect here. When they rolled Green Bay, they beat them by 24. They were 10.5-point favorites. We know the kind of season Green Bay had, but also they beat Milwaukee 72-64 in that upset to reach this final game. They were 7.5-point underdogs in the game yesterday against Milwaukee. So let's see what you've got here. I say yesterday, but you know what I mean. Last tournament game. This tournament had a few days off leading into today's game. So let's go to the chat here in this one with Oakland and Robert Morris. And also, I think the Horizon tournament trends actually have been pretty strong from what we've talked about, especially with those unders a little bit. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay, I gotcha, chat. Let's see here. Good morning to the Sports Money Network. Terrell says Bobby Morris swept it this year. They won at home 73-71. Actually got the money in that game, favored by 1.5. And they also got the money in the first matchup of the season in that one at Oakland. Now that on that day, it was back in early January. They were 5.5-point dogs, so things definitely changed from that point as Oakland went on to have a pretty mediocre season for sure. But Robert Morris has been terrific this year. The University of Pittsburgh Airport. All right, we won't stop us here. Spoons is here as well, ready to give us some wisdom, hopefully. And NYC Bar, our newest chat all-star, likes Bobby Morris on the money line. R. Tomps likes Robert Morris, or maybe Robert Morrison, or maybe Bobby Morris for Robert McCormick. There's a lot of Bobs going on here. Thomas says, oh, look at this. Robert Morris, the consensus play. How about that? Oh, my God. Okay. I'll let you guys go with the consensus here in this one. I'll pivot to the total. No one's talking about the total, it feels like. So maybe I'll play the total in this one. Let the consensus have at it here today. Oh, there's Blue talking. I'm sorry we neglected the soccer on the intro, but with it being Monday here, our Monday fixtures today with Newcastle and West Ham. Newcastle favored on the road. Udinese and Lazio are Italian feature today, and Girona and Espanyol in Spain features today in major European leagues. Thank you, Blue. And Spoons, thank you for that information on tonight's game. We'll get to the Big Sky here in just a moment. Montana State going up against uh, Idaho State there. And not only that, I mean, we'll get to it, but I was like, Idaho State, they've got the player of the, they've got the conference player of the year. But yeah, with Walker, but also, they've got my favorite player. Don't forget on Idaho State, my favorite player in college basketball this year is on Idaho State. Do everything, reserve off the bench, AJ Bergen, a very efficient player for sure. But let me wrap it up here in the horizon, though. Let me get it go. Hey, I'm going to take the under in this one as my play. That steam came in on the under. I was already on it, so I've missed a point or so here. But I've got the under with Oakland and Robert Morris. All right, we got the other game now, too. And like we said, the steam just came rolling in here on Youngstown and Cleveland State just moments ago. But let's go to the matchup here. And see what you've got in this one with Youngstown State and Cleveland. Cleveland State has won 13 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams, but also covered 12 of those 17 meetings, including this season. The teams met twice, and Youngstown won at Cleveland as a 3.5-point dog back on February 16th. Back in January, it was Cleveland winning at Youngstown as a 4.5-point dog, 80-72. So the Dogs won them both this season on the road. Spoons is talking about Dylan Darling there, Idaho State. Right now, steam coming in, folks. I want to just mention it on the West Coast semifinal between Pepperdine and St. Mary's. We already talked about the steam that came in on the under in the USF game with a higher total, but this one going under here, down from 136.5 probably to 135.5 or lower here with Pepperdine and St. Mary's. Little move coming in on the under right now. All right. Yeah, we're talking Youngstown and Cleveland, though, right now in this one.
Final.
Getting your opinions here as I go through the chat here. Cleveland. Okay, here we go. Cleveland State for blue. Cleveland State big blind. Cleveland State baby. Cleveland State back to back. Cleveland State. Here's NYC VAR. It's good to have NYC VAR here today helping us out in the chat All-Stars. And here's a little more Cleveland State from Robert McCormick.
Final.
Baby. Okay, here it is, baby. Cleveland State, baby. BB. Kind of like when I'm talking to those Colombian models. All right. Let's see here. All right. I think that's going to do it from you guys in the chat here. Look, Cleveland State's a big-time under team for sure. They've gone under in 12 of 15 games as a favorite. Youngstown's been going over nonstop here of late. They did go under in that last game against Fort Wayne in that in their tournament game, 72-67, as they got the money in that one. But for the most part, these teams have combined to go 24-35 to the under this season. It's usually Cleveland State that does go under, and I've got another under here, folks. Give me the under with Youngstown and Cleveland State. I'm chasing steam here today for sure in the Horizon League, but I'm going to end up on some unders in these conference tournaments the way things are going. All right. All right, I guess that's it. Let's go to the Big Sky because we've got Spoons in here, or was in here, and talking Big Sky of that first game with Montana State and Idaho State. With Idaho State favored here now by 1.5, the total 139. As it continues to move lower here a little bit. Get your opinions on this one. I think we already had a pretty good preview there, and a little bit of what Spoons was talking about here with the situation right now, considering the Montana State. Yeah, they've had a real nice surprise here coming in. Finishing just 9-9 this season in conference play, but done pretty well here. But interestingly, like Spoon said, Brandon Walker didn't play in either of those games, and he's the team's best player. He's one of the best players in the conference. So did not play in those games, and currently, on the injured list here again, I believe, for tonight's game. So we'll see here against Idaho State. And as Spoon said on Idaho State, you've got certainly one of the best. You've got the player of the year. Let's just make it clear with Dylan Darling this season. And look, it hasn't been perfect here for Idaho State either, finishing just 10-8 in conference play, but done a pretty good job. Now we saw with the Northern Colorado game there, the games last night in the we were up late watching the Big Sky for sure last night with Northern Colorado Weber game there, and also the Montana game against Northern Arizona. This conference has kind of gone back and forth with how they play the tournament here. So just these two teams are in here. This is actually where the tournament stands. They're the Big Sky. They kind of run it where the quarterfinal games were played on back-to-back nights here. So last night, Northern Colorado won 76-52, and Montana won 74-65 to advance to the semifinals as the teams, the higher seeds, the 1 and 2 seeds have advanced here in this one. This is the 4-5 matchup in the Big Sky. So for, like I said, for Idaho State, hey, I got to talk about my favorite player, A.J. Bergen. Pretty good year. He doesn't start. He comes off the bench, but he does it all. He can do it all. He's not, I don't find him in the leaders, but this is my guy. So I've been watching Idaho State all season because, my coverage previously, or my affinity for AJ and their family. So let me see what the total here. Is it 139? Is that what I said? Down to 139. All right. So I don't want to show any biases here. I might have to play the total because I'm rooting hard. I'm rooting hard for this Idaho State team, and I think they can win it. But let's go to the chat and see what you guys got in this one. All right, here we go.
System playing.
Robert here is on Idaho State. And Blue's making fun of the WNBA here. No, Blue knows, though, I'm a big WNBA fan. But, yeah, if they don't realize they want to if they want to go on strike, that league, if they go on strike, Bye-bye. Bye-bye, WNBA. They'll have to go play a 3-on-3 league and hope it works out. NYC bar here is on Montana State. And Spoon says, you got the game in Boise. And you see there, it says 7 hours to Bozeman. Great there, Spoons. Yeah, I got you there. 0-11 as an underdog. Yeah, for sure. I got you there. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you, Spoons, for the great insight on this one. All right. And we talked some of the big sky trends throughout the tournament as well. And I thought we did pretty well on those. You see, the total has dipped here to a 139 now. Now, this is close because there's still some 140s out there, I think. No, it's all 139 and a halfs or lower. So maybe you could conclude with this trend because totals of 140 or less in the Big Sky tournament are hitting close to 75% over the last 7 years here. And to me, you do have two teams that kind of trend over. Idaho State, 8-4 to the over as a favorite here. So I'm going to end up on the over in this game between Montana State and Idaho State. I'm going to go to the total because I'm rooting too hard for Idaho State. I can root once in a while. All right. Jim's talking those Bulls. He can't stop talking Bulls basketball at this point. He has them to fight in there and make these playoffs. You know, it's funny because you talk about it, right? 10-1 to make the playoffs, right? And you know, I know the book knows they mean because the Bulls here, you know, to me, I don't know what the rules are, Jim, because I would think the Bulls are, um, you know, they're 3 games clear, 3.5 games clear of Philadelphia to make the play-in tournament, but that means they're not in the playoffs. So just I'm not clear. Maybe want to read the rules also, because the playoffs really only consist of 6 teams from each conference. The other 4 teams are in a play-in tournament. So I'm just not sure. I understand what you're saying, and you say these are juicy odds because if you look at it, the Bulls are in the playoffs. If you say the playoffs, it means the postseason, right? They're 3.5 games clear. It got to be top 8. See, that doesn't even make sense either, right? Because we know the play-in tournament is 7 through 10, and the top 6. Oh, but okay, so 8. So the 2 teams. Okay, the rules are there. Thank you, Jim. You just said it there in the chat. They got to be top 8. So they've got to survive the play-in tournament, right? Is that it? So they've got to not just finish 10th. They've got to win one of the spots there, I think is what you're saying. Okay. Got it. Thanks, Jim. I knew you'd tell me on that. Thank you. Okay, so I'm on the over here with Montana State and Idaho State, and go Bengals! I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that tonight for sure. I'm looking forward to the championship game with Idaho State in it. Come on.
Final.
All right. Even though my pick, by the way, in the Big Sky tournament is Montana. You know, for the odds on Montana, I'm not saying Montana was the best coming in to the Big Sky tournament. I was just looking at the odds, and I'm in the little tournament with Mr. Higgs there, and I ended up on Montana. I know they finished tied with Northern Colorado, but Northern Colorado was obviously the favorite. Okay, next game here tonight, though, Big Sky, Idaho State and Portland State. Or Idaho State and Portland. Idaho. There we go. There we go. With the Vandals coming in here. Hey, the Vandals are coming in here with a record of 13 and 15 here, 13 and 18 in this one. They were the 6th seed. This is a 3-6 game here. Portland State comes in with 3 consecutive victories here right now. And Portland State is 16 and 11 against the spread this season. Idaho just 12 and 17 against the spread this season. Idaho has failed to cover in 8 of their last 10 games coming in. They come in off of a loss to Montana State here. Both these teams first game in the tournament here. Like I said, the way the tournament is structured, the 3 and the 6 got the byes. So they open up the tournament here in this one with Idaho here, the 6th seed, Portland State, the 3 seed, just to make it clear. And we'll get some of your reaction to this one. You've got Idaho, mostly an over team, 18 and 11 to the over this season. Portland State, 3 and 13 to the under as a favorite this season. The two teams met back in February at Idaho, and Portland State won that one 76-69. Portland State's kind of owned this series for sure, winning and covering in the last 4 meetings. They also met in January 75-63. Portland State won at home as a 2.5 point favorite in that one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here in this one, but I don't know if I'm buying it too much, but let's see what you guys have in this one. This one, another one where, let's see, it opened right around Bet Online did open it at 146, but there weren't any other books really that opened it up much higher. Let's go to the chat and see what you've got with Portland State here and Idaho. All right, here we go with, I think College Station is saying Portland State money line there with PlayStation money line. Okay, here's Robert McCormick on Portland State. Blue is on Portland State here, and NYC Bar likes the over in this one. All right. I'm going to take Portland State here to get this money. I think there's a big difference between these two teams, and I'm going to go ahead and lay it with Portland State at -5 now. It's gone up for sure. And you know what? It's 4.5. I got to even be fair to myself. I always give myself the toughest line, but there's not many 5s out there. I don't know if there is a 5 out there anymore. So let's go to 4.5 here. Action Jackson likes Duke to win the ACC tournament. Thank you, Action Jackson. Okay, so my pick is in. I've got Portland State here in this one. Let's go to the West Coast Conference tournament here now and wrap up our college basketball with Pepperdine taking on St. Mary's. We already talked about both these teams getting hit on the under here for sure. Right now, St. Mary's says they're 20 and 136.5, but it's 134 right now with a pretty big move here to the under and what's expected to be a blowout here certainly tonight. Between these two teams, Pepperdine and St. Mary's, but give Pepperdine credit, man. They've really come through nicely here with their run. They've won the last 3 nights, scoring a bunch of points here. 86, 77, 78 points over those last 3 games. Odom, really nice point guard for sure, and not only can he hand it out, but he can score as well. So, look, Pepperdine 7 and 14 in conference play, 13 and 21. This player Odom is a little bit of a difference maker that maybe they found it just in time here. Look, they're 20-point underdogs. I'm not going to say they're going to win this game or anything, but this man is playing pretty well. here. Pepperdine dominated really in the second half for the most part of these games. It feels like over the last 3 nights. Coming into the tournament, they were 1-8 in their last 9 games, and they've just exploded here. They had 3 starters play pretty much the entire game yesterday. So St. Mary's has won 17 of their last 18 games coming in. They're the best rebounding team they're a top rebounding team, if not number 1, number 2, number 3, doesn't matter. They're one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They crushed Pepperdine in both meetings, 74-50. That would have gotten this number. 71-41. That would have gotten this number. So we'll see here what you guys like in this one. St. Mary's just great on the interior. Might make a big difference here tonight for sure. But let's see here. Maybe Pepperdine, maybe that just enough here at 20 points. Let's see what you've got. Pepperdine and St. Mary's. Here, I'm going to the chat. St. Mary's has won and covered the last 5 meetings between the 2 teams. So they always dominate here. All right. Here's blue, like in Pepperdine. And Robert likes the under here. I'm with Robert right now. I just might as well just say it. I'm taking the under here. Between Pepperdine, I guess, I'm just on a lot of unders. Here's another under right now that I didn't give out, but just want to mention this steam coming in right now. In the Colonial Athletic, we mentioned 4 out of the last 5 meetings between Charleston and Wilmington have gone under. The steam's coming in on the under in that game. It was 148. We're going to be down to 146.5 here or lower. Steam under College of Charleston and NC Wilmington. Pepperdine for NYC VAR here. And I don't mind VAR. I've said this before. If NYC VAR is a new commenter here, I can read through little typos like this. Your time is valuable, so you don't have to type in that, sorry typo or anything. If you want to, that's fine. But I can read through these errors. I'm very intelligent. All right. All right, I guess that's it. You guys having some nice conversation there in the ACC. But I'm on the under here in this one with Pepperdine and St. Mary's. Okay, let's go to the next. Let's go to the last one here. By the way, St. Mary's is my pick to win the West Coast Conference tournament. That means they're going to beat the other team. You know who it is. Although you got the Dons here. They were able to come through there last night in fine fashion and did the job there in the game late. It was the late game last night, in case you missed it, with USF there winning. They got the money. Should have rolled with them a little bit there, but USF crushed Washington State in the end in a wild over for sure. The steam was right on in that one between San Francisco and Washington State last night. Now you've got Gonzaga here favored by 14.5 points. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over here. But like I said, that steam just came in moments ago on the under. So let's see what you've got here. We're going to have to win today as we're losing more money over here in these markets. We're only down 4 dimes so far, running out of money here. If you guys can do anything about it. All right, let's go to the West Coast Conference here were some of those trends. You look at these totals, uh, West Coast Conference totals, when these totals are up over 147 points in the West Coast Conference, they're going over at nearly a rate of 65%. However, the average score in those games is about 156. So maybe that tones it down here a little bit. And we know that San Francisco can kind of bring you down a little bit, even though for the most part, San Francisco here, you look at the games this season, Gonzaga won 88-77. That went for 165 points. And Gonzaga won 95-75 in the other games. So you've got to think it's probably going to challenge that number. Gonzaga has beaten San Francisco 32 straight times coming into this game. So maybe you can take the money line if you can find it. Maybe this will be the one for San Francisco to finally beat these guys. It's only been 15 years since USF has won against Gonzaga. Let's go to the chat on this one. All right. Here's Sports Money with one of, oh boy, I'm going to have to read this. It feels like a sports money trend here. Oh, he's talking the Duke game. I'll let you guys read that in the chat. Thanks, Sports Money, though. Thank you. Talking that Duke game here today. Thought it was going to be this game. Okay, let's see here. College Station says pay up in the second half, and Gonzaga will go over. Okay. And Spoon says Marcus Williams there talking about the situation here in this game with Williams here. Yeah, he's out tonight too. He's out. I mean, he is out, period. We know right now, right? So whether or not it. Hey, Charles Sharp. Hi, Charles. Nice to see you. Gravy, hello. And Noli, hello. There's Noli. All right. Noli says, St. Mary's knows they'll be in no matter what. So Gonzaga will still win the tournament like they always do. Charles Sharp, like San Francisco. Good to have you, Charles. Good to see you here today. All right. Guess I'm ready to make my call here in this one. And I got to go over here with USF and Gonzaga. Noli's here, but he's not going to talk me off this one, I don't think, with these two teams. Like I said, these high total, when the total's high in the West Coast Conference, it goes over. And when it's low, it seems to go under for sure. But we'll see here tonight. Thanks, everybody. That's a look at college basketball. We've got to get this show going here in the NBA. We got a bunch of games in the NBA. There are 11 games, or no, I'm sorry. There are 12 games tonight in the NBA. We got to get to it. Oh no, I'm sorry. We got 2 more games in college. Oh no, I don't have those quarterfinal games previewed in the Southland. I'm kidding you. We will get to the Southland Conference once that tournament reaches the semifinals. But just to be aware, a couple of games tonight in the Southland on college basketball with Corpus Christi and Northwestern State and Incarnate Word taking on Nichols. Okay, here we go. Lakers and Nets. We know the storyline here. Certainly the big news about LeBron James. He's going to be out now for 1 to 2 weeks with that injury here. Oh, real quick, I just want to mention Incarnate Word did take some steam in that game against Nichols. It was 4.5, but it did move for sure. Want to get that one in there. Moved to 3.5. Steam on Incarnate Word this morning, just about 15 minutes ago or so as we were talking. Okay. All right. So Lakers and Nets here in this one. LeBron out, obviously. So, how will that affect the game here with Brooklyn now and the Lakers having to deal without him here? Brooklyn's on a losing streak for sure of late. Lakers coming off of a tough loss to Boston a couple nights ago. They didn't cover the spread in that one, and but still they were playing Boston, so tough game. Nonetheless, here you got to take a look at how will the Lakers fare with just Luka kind of running the show now in this one. The total here is at 216 in this one. All right. So the news is still good for the Lakers. I mean, they've been covering all these games here, of course, of late with Luka now. They're 13-4 in their last 17 games against the spread overall. Brooklyn not doing well, 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. And it feels like I'm so tired today for some reason, like I missed out on an hour's sleep this week. All right. Brooklyn's gone under in 15 of their last 20 games overall. The Lakers have gone under in 9 of their last 10 games on a massive under streak. Here, it feels like you have that. We've already been hitting the nets on all these unders for weeks. And now you got an LA team that's going under in all their games here of late and missing LeBron James. But the steam came in on the under here. It was 218.5 opener at DraftKings. And has moved lower. Not only are these teams in a big time groove going under, even though they only meet twice a year, 15 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under, including short term. 7 of the last 9 here in Brooklyn between these two teams have gone under. So big time under series here, but they don't meet that often. They did meet back in LA back on January 17th, 102-101. Lakers won, did not cover in that one. Can they get the money here tonight in the matchup against Brooklyn? Let's go to the chat as we get rolling with the NBA. And here we go with subs here today. All right. Thank you, sub. There he is. Blue says, take the Lakers. Charles Sharp is on the Lakers here. And let's see. Lakers to cover for NYC VAR. Says that Lakers injury report there, no doubt. The other big injury, though, here in this game, right, other than LeBron, is Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is back, on the injured list here today. He is ruled out of this game. So without Thomas, here's the funny thing about it. The Nets without Cam Thomas, that's when they were going under. When Thomas was out of the lineup. He came back and they played a few overs, but now Thomas is back out of the lineup here. So our Tomp says Lakers under. Fernando's here on the under. Jackson Hayes questionable. DFS is out. Charles is on the under here. So, all right. I'll take the Lakers here over Brooklyn tonight. Give me the Lakers in this one. All right. Next up, 76ers and Hawks. Here, the Hawks are favored by 9.5. The Hawks are hanging on, of course. We're going to preview them, but right now, even though the Sixers are done for, we know that Hawks are up to 10.5 point favorite. Pretty serious move here. Total up to 235. This one's been moving higher. There we go. 10 and 235 here in this one. 10.5. All right, for the Hawks here, they come in 4 games under 500 currently, but they've won a pair of games in a row here. Victories over Indiana, won and covered them both at home, back-to-back games, separated by one night a few nights ago, but still, the Hawks were able to sweep uh, the Pacers were able to sweep the Hawks were able to sweep the Pacers, is what happened in that one, in that little series that they played. So for Philadelphia, they come in here off of a win over Utah last night. They're on the back-to-back. They won 126 to 122. It was Utah that ended up getting the money, however, in that game yesterday, in a game that went way over the total. So let's take a look here with these two. Philadelphia here has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. The widely reported steam came on the over. Although I should mention they're only meeting this season. Let's see here. I think it went under. I don't have it right now, but anyways, Philadelphia dreadful against the spread. We know that, but Atlanta's a terrible favorite. 7 and 15 against the spread for Atlanta as a favorite. So, oh man, you want to lay 10.5 here against Philly? They'll probably blow them out. I would think the spread's kind of getting away at this point. Kind of want to lay it, but maybe I'll just have to do it on the show. I like the total here, possibly in this one. So for Philadelphia, just 8 and 22 against the spread in their last 30 games overall. Atlanta's gone over in 28 of their last 39 games at home, dating back to last season. Still in this one, and they've gone over in 20 of their last 27 games as a favorite. Let's go to the chat here in this one. Philadelphia and Atlanta today. This total has gone up probably 7 points off of some of those openers here. Gosh, can it be really? Make sure of that, man. This one opened as low as 228.5. At DraftKings, the general opener was still 230, and you're 5 points above that. So we got a runaway favorite in the Hawks and a runaway total in the over. Who likes taxes? All right. Thank you, Thomas. Okay. Okay, here we go. Thomas had to go here. Okay, so we'll see if something else comes up. Let's see. 76ers and Hawks. Charles is on the Hawks here. NYC Bar likes the over. Fernando likes the over. Charles likes the over as well. And Robert likes the over. Action Jackson likes the over. Lots of overs here. Here's an Atlanta money line from Blue. Gosh, will it still go over despite this wicked high move here to the total over? Atlanta's gone over in 15 of their 22 games as a favorite. Philly's gone over here 22 and 16 to the over as an underdog. Man, this total's gone so high here. I'll just take it. Give me the over with you guys here. I can't do it as a premium for sure. I mean, everybody's late to the party in this one. Could be just a number that you can ignore the opener as here. All right, let's keep it rolling here right now. Next up, Jazz and Celtics. Celtics favored by 17.5. The total here, 229.5. We're getting to that time of the year. Look at all these totals just getting steamed to the over left and right. And are we getting to that time of the year? We're going to start seeing no defense again. We've already been there once. Jazz and Celtics. Take a look at the trends in this one. How do the Celtics trend here, right? How do the Celtics trend with this situation? That's what you got to look at. But it's mostly Utah that does the covering here right now, despite this losing streak. Utah still getting the money on occasion. Here in Boston, they've won and covered 4 straight games right now. They blew out Philadelphia a couple of nights ago, laying 13.5, and they won by 18 here. So can they do it? And also, who's out for the Jazz? That's what you've always got to look at here. All those guys missed last game, but tonight, well, they might be back in there. KP's questionable. Tatum's questionable too on that injury list. And if you're going to look for a spot, maybe to rest your guy, maybe you can get it done here without Jason Tatum. Big Al's questionable as well. Collins is questionable for Utah. Clarkson is questionable, but Kessler, not on the injured report yet. And Markkanen not there either. So maybe, just maybe, this is the Utah spot to get the money tonight. See what we got here from the chat. Action Jackson says the Celtics will smash. Blues got the Jazz. Robert's got the over here. And I've got the Utah Jazz. Give me the Jazz here in this one. Blue says Celtics team total under here. All right. Can we really keep losing thousands of dollars on the stock market here as I sit here and start crying? Gonna have to win our bets today. Let's go next up too. We are skipping here today one game. Let me see what it was. The Wizards and the Raptors. We did skip that game. There's no hope for those teams. We'll stick here though with the Hornets and the Heat. In this one, the Heat certainly are still around, but 5 games under 500. But hey, you got to consider the Heat here still with a chance. I'm already kind of back on the Heat now for sure. They're in the bubble here with the play-in tournament. So I'm willing to still preview these guys for sure. The Heat come in here right now with a record of 29-34. Charlotte, they're doomed here. They did win last time out, though. Charlotte beat Brooklyn 105-102 as a 5.5-point dog. Miami lost to the Bulls 114-109, but they were covering a bunch of spreads before that, even though they lost to good teams like Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Knicks. They got the spread in those games, but how good of a favorite is Miami going to be? Remember, Charlotte, they're still very profitable underdog, 31-21 against the spread as an underdog. The Heat are someone you want to trust in the underdog role, but I don't know if they're one to be trusted in the dog role or in the big favorite role. Tyler Hero is probable in this one. Highsmith questionable. Robinson questionable. Burks questionable. Smith is out for the Heat. Jaquez probable. Wiggins probable. They've had some injury woes for sure, but Charlotte, remember, they continue to get this money. They also got the money against Cleveland. They lost by just 1 point in that game the other night. Played very, very well. So Charlotte is able to get you the money it feels like, when they're getting enough points here in some of these series for sure. Miami here, they've have beaten Charlotte in 5 straight meetings. However, the last game was 98-94 Miami. Who got the money? Charlotte by a half a point. Let's go to the chat here in this one. Charlotte's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Charlotte 18-37 to the under as an underdog. And 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under as well. All right, I'm taking the Charlotte Hornets in this one, plus those points. Let's go to the chat. And Blue did take the Raptors. Thank you, Blue. Yeah, sorry I skipped that game. I know we've got, and we got some Canadian friends here. I don't want to upset anybody, but those teams are done, obviously. Nasty Nate says Celtics second quarter here. A very unusual play. Blue says Hornets team total under here. College Station, like in Miles Bridges. Charles says take those Hornets plus the points. Here's College Station says Wiggins under with Kispert first quarter points. Bet I seen. Usually I'm good at interpreting those. That one I don't know. All right, so give me the Hornets here. Let's go to the Suns, the Soons, the Lulu Soons, and the Grizzlies here. Grizzlies favored by 4. Total 243.5. A little bit of a move here to the Suns. And, well, what do you know? The steam kind of came in on the under here. It is back up to 243.5, but maybe it was a little bit too high. Take a look at this one with the Suns and the Grizzlies here. The Grizzlies 40-24. They're having trouble for sure covering numbers, but they did win their last 2. Didn't get the money against New Orleans the other night. We had New Orleans last night in that game. They got the money for Memphis here. They covered against Dallas the night before that. But remember, they were in a little bit of a funk before that, and people were wondering if the Grizzlies were done for. But fortunately for them, they're playing one of the worst spread teams around in the Phoenix Suns. Now, we know the Suns are a terrible home favorite. They're not great as a dog either, but 10-15 ATS. Still Memphis, just 1-8-1 ATS in their last 10. Still Grizzlies 25-17 against the spread as a favorite. Memphis has gone over here in 38 of their 64 games this season, but they usually go under more on the road for the most part. Phoenix, though, is 22-11 to the over on the road. They've gone over in 9 of their last 11 games on the road and over in 7 of their last 8 games overall. Memphis has won the last 4 meetings between these two teams. They did not cover in the last meeting, a wild 151-148 game. Remember, just a couple of weeks ago in that one that went for 299 points. Memphis did not cover. Steam just came in moments ago in the game between Arkansas State and Troy. We saw the move here come in just moments ago on the under in that game between Arkansas State and Troy. It was 130, went all the way back up to 139.5. This is giving you the opportunity to get back in on this one, I think, here, if you like that under right now. But it is moving back to the under again here with Arkansas State and Troy down to 138.5. All right. Suns and Grizzlies, we continue on here in this one and see what you guys like in the chat. I think I've given as much as I can anyways with these two. So let's get the move from the chat all stars and then I'll chime in. It's going to be hi B-Hawk in the chat talking Nichols State today against Incarnate Word.
System playing.
And we talked about a little bit, B-Hawk, that the Steam came in on Word. I didn't give out a pick, though, but maybe I can come back to it. We're on the NBA here, though, real quick. Appreciate you. All right, Suns team total under here for blue. And AOD likes the under here in this one. All right, I can't do it. Even though that Steam came in on the under, I'm going to end up on the over, this ridiculous number here tonight with Memphis and Phoenix. I've got to go over here at 243. I've got it as an over here. Phoenix on the road, they give it up big time. You saw the last game, 299 points in that one. So big number. I'll try the over. Okay, next up. Here's those Bulls. Let's talk about them. The Bulls are in action here against the Pacers. And, this is a spot I feel more comfortable with the Bulls, I think, than, as a home favorite or even a road dog. I think this is a role that I like for the Bulls here. The Bulls have won 2 in a row right now. Wins over Miami and Orlando. They covered the spread in both those games. They've covered 7 of their last 10 games overall. Now, strangely, the Bulls are just 11 and 22 straight up at home, and Indiana is pretty decent as a favorite, winning anyway. They don't always cover here, and I don't know if I want to trust them in this role as a favorite here. The Pacers have won the last 3 meetings between the two teams, including here at Chicago back in December, 132 to 123. The Pacers have got the money in both of those games, but teams did meet here in March of last year. The Bulls beat them 125 to 99. And let's go to the chat a little bit here in this one with Chicago at home. Indiana has defeated Chicago in 9 of the last 12 meetings here in Chicago, but Chicago 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 games overall. Chicago's gone over in 4 of their last 5 at home. They're 28 and 21 to the over as an underdog. Indiana has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. And we'll see what you guys have here in this one. I'm on the Bulls, I'll tell you right now. Give me the Bulls plus the points tonight in this one. Jim Casey says, this is my game. This is it. And, we've been seeing Vooch here miss some time for sure right now. But we'll see. He's questionable here tonight. Williams is questionable. Ball is doubtful here in this one, but Kobe White questionable. Halliburton questionable. McConnell questionable tonight. Blue is on the Bulls, and you can't spell Bulls without a little blue or something like that. All right, that's it in that one. I'm on the Bulls. Next up, the Magic and the Rockets here in this one. Remember when we used to compare these teams a little bit in their growth? Here, the widely reported Steam did come in on the under in this game. Houston's won 2 straight here, covering against the Pelicans over those 2 games that they played over the weekend, or last week anyway. Orlando beat Milwaukee the other night to snap a losing streak as Orlando won at Milwaukee 111 to 109. here, but still Orlando 10-17 against the spread as an underdog, 12-19 against the spread on the road. The Rockets here do come in having won 10 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Houston have gone over. Orlando's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games overall, but Houston 13-17 to the under at home this season. See what you want to do here with Orlando takes on Houston tonight in this one. We've seen this move here. Oops, the total there is wrong. You guys apologize for that. We know it's nothing close to 242 with these two teams. It's 212. It's 212 right now here. 211 at DraftKings. I must have just been looking at that Bulls line right above it. There we go. Or maybe I just read the one wrong. Whatever it was, we know there's a low total with these two teams. We love Orlando totals under usually, but I don't know in this matchup. I'm not sure that's going to be a typical Orlando game with these two. So, well, like I said, Orlando's actually been going over a little bit here. And, yeah, the pressure is always coming down on these a little bit, and the steams come in on the under. I get all that, but I don't know if it's going to be an over here necessarily. The teams have not met yet this season. Here we go with some plays here from you guys. Robert's going to take advantage of the sports book here. Take advantage of. Here's Robert on the Rockets. Blue is on the Rockets. And Terrell, I think he's serious here, though. I think he's talking about moving the total here. Charles is on the Rockets. Oh, no, he don't. Terrell says he. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I got to make my call here, and I can't go on that crazy total either. All right. Yeah, nothing much from you guys here. No wonder Thomas was able to leave here. He knew we weren't going to come to any consensus, maybe in this one. All right. I'm going to take the Rockets here. I'm going to lay the points with Houston. Next up, the Nuggets and the Thunder in the rematch. This is, make no mistake, the big game of the night. Even though it's not the nationally televised game, it's on NBA TV. And you do have maybe a little bit more equal footing. Maybe the Nuggets were coming in a little bit fatigued, let's just say, in the last game there, right? It was close, and then the Thunder blew them out in the end, kind of showing that maybe the Nuggets were just up against it a little bit there in the end as OKC blew them out to keep their winning streak going here right now, 127 to 123. I think it was 106 to 103. I'm half kidding there, the way it kind of exploded in the end, and the Thunder went on to win handily. Oklahoma City's won 9 of their last 10 games at home right now, including covers in 3 straight, all unders against Denver, Portland, and Memphis. 3 good teams, right? Include Portland in there a little bit. Denver's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games on the road here right now. We know OKC's a big time over, 35-27 of the over as a favorite. 7 of the last 8 meetings, though, between these two teams have gone under here. And look, last night's game was an under for sure there. And will the Thunder be able to go off again? You got to think Nikola Jokic here a little bit more motivated to keep this one close. The thing about the Thunder and their jugular attitude here, covering all these games, it seems like, right? How much can they go full bore here and keep doing it? They are 12 games clear of both, the next two teams right now in the Western Conference, the Lakers and the Nuggets. And Thunder have a 12-game lead here right now in the Western Conference standings. So I don't know if they're going to, you know, blow them out again. You always want to kind of come back on the other team, anyways. And not only that, you're getting one of the best teams in the league, you know, doing so with the Denver Nuggets here. Nuggets aren't covering any spreads. They failed to cover 4 straight, but getting the points here like this again, even though they failed in the role yesterday, could be a different story maybe here today. Hey, we had the Thunder, remember yesterday in the game. So I'm going with the under here. I know the steam came on the over in this one, but I'm going under here with Denver and OKC. The current total right now is 238. It's already gone down a couple of points here for sure. It's been moving downward. Okay, let's go to the comments here real quick from the chat. See if you have anything here. Cash Kane is here today. College Station says, take the over with Carmelo. Blues on the under. Hello, Cash. He's got Nuggets first half money line. College Station says, Nuggets and the points over in the first half. And Fernando says, Nuggets first quarter spread. And College Station says, when you got so many players that you can't even get all of them in the game. Hey, Chad, hello. Nice to have Chad in the chat here in this one. All right, maybe we can get a play with Chad. I know what I'm doing in this game. I'm taking the under with the Nuggets and the Thunder. All right. Chad says OKC will roll again. They want the highest point differential of all time, and they'll keep going and going and going and putting the pressure on all these teams. That sounds like, if they're going to just keep beating up and doing it at will, maybe this team will win the championship. All right, let's keep it going here right now with the Mavs on the road against the Spurs. And hey, you know what? I'm going to backtrack on some comments that I said that Mark Cuban has his hands all over the Mavericks still, but he came out with his comments saying that he did not like the trade with Luka Doncic, who does, right? But his 27% interest and still on some of the, I don't know if it's the board or whether his not maybe his opinion here a little bit. Chargers signed Khalil Mack, a 1-year deal there, I see. All right. Look, obviously Cuban has backed away there a little bit. I said that he probably had a bit of input in the trade of Doncic, and that maybe he was not satisfied with the conditioning. Maybe it was Cuban giving the okay for a trade of Doncic, but it seems now that is not the case. I want to move on one game here, talk about it real quick. A little steam came in just now. Corpus Christi and Northwestern State steam to the under. It was 130 down to 129 with Corpus Christi and Northwestern State in that Southland Conference quarterfinal. All right. Here we go now, though. Mavericks and Spurs here. Mavericks, a game under 500. Their season is tumbling away with a losing streak. Right now, they're toast. Last night, make no mistake, against the Phoenix Suns, the Dallas Mavericks pretty much ran out of players. And if you look at their situation tonight, they're scheduled with just 8 players again. At least it's 8. Here. They are in trouble with their personnel. It feels like here right now, and this injury list, that maybe even the Spurs have a chance to get it done here against these two. Brandon Williams questionable, PJ Washington questionable. OMP is questionable. Hardy, he's been out for a week now, and these other guys who have been out as well. So the Mavericks ran out of players last night. One guy was in the locker room, a bunch of guys were in street clothes, and all of a sudden it felt like there was no one to turn to for uh, Jason Kidd. And that feels like it's going to be a problem again here tonight, even against the Spurs without their star. Still, the Spurs as a favorite here by 7 now and 230.5. The Spurs are 14-5 against the spread as a favorite. So I don't know. I kind of want to take them here, but this total has moved way higher as well. It's up to 230. This one opened as low as 225. Another one where the spread is just getting away. And you have a Dallas team that's 19-12 to the over on the road, 25-15 to the over as an underdog. Spurs are 13-6 to the over as a favorite. Dallas has beaten the Spurs 5 straight times here in San Antonio, but you wonder if that's going to happen now. San Antonio's gone over in 5 straight, and 4 of the last 5 between these two teams here in San Antonio have gone over. We've missed out on the number here, it feels like. Give me the over with Dallas and San Antonio tonight. All right, here Chad says the Mavs are dead. Mavs are dead. Wine Time says good morning. Hi, Wine Time. Chad says I can't lay it though. Maybe the Mavs will get the money here a little bit. And a lot of people staying away from this one. Robert's on the Spurs here. And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. I'll just take the over here in this one. All right. You know how, well, I don't want to. Okay, let me see here. Let's go. We got 2 more here. We got to wrap up this show, man. Trailblazers and Warriors here tonight with the Warriors at home. Laying big points to the best team in basketball. Anyway, it's been a great run for the Warriors. And maybe they're running out of gas here with a 3-game losing streak now all of a sudden. They couldn't get the money there last night against Detroit. They came back there in the 4th quarter. For a minute, they were at least getting the money for a second. I think they got it down to 2 or 3 before the Pistons took off again and won another one late. But still, come on, man. The Warriors here. Now the Warriors did blow out the Pistons themselves, not blow out, 115-110. In fact, it was a push in that one. Warriors have won 4 straight games coming in here, but they're going up against these Blazers, man. Come on. Yeah, the Blazers may be starting to come back down to earth a little bit, but they've still covered 16 of their last 24 games coming in. They're 31-24 as an underdog currently. Golden State here, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams at Golden State have gone under here, but the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game between these two. And I don't know if I'm going to think that Portland can hang in here. I would think it ends up going over, even though for me, I still think that some of these Portland defensive players are a little bit underrated. This is where we've seen their successes, is what it feels like to me when they were on that great streak there towards the end of the season. I think they have some. I think their guards play excellent deep. I think Simons, Sharp, these guys can check you a little bit for sure. And I think that was part of the key when the Blazers were having such great success. Okay, let's maybe go to the chat here in this one and get your opinions here with the game between Golden State and Portland here today. All right. I think Jermaine might be on the over here. Hey, Damon Waring. Hello. Nice to have you there. Chad's worrying about Avila here. And what is his current status? I thought he was going to be out of this game no matter what, Chad. I don't think I have him in this lineup. Yeah, he's out. He's out. And Williams, questionable. Ayton, of course, has been out. For the Warriors here, Kuminga out. Pajemski out as well. A couple of, parts there for sure. Robert likes the over here. Oh, Chad's talking a little bit of live action there. And Parasite still hanging out. Hi, Parasite says Pistons were gassed at the end, but maybe the Blazers were too, right? After all those. Rick says, yeah, you know what, Rick? You look at this, you're right. This card isn't anything too great. All right. Take a look here at this one and see what you got here with these two. I think I know what I'm doing. I just want to make sure I got it right. Give me the over here with Portland and Golden State. I've got the over at 231. Super True, good morning. Well, yeah, you're an hour late. Is it like you missed it's like you lost an hour somewhere this weekend? Last one here, the Knicks and the Kings. The Knicks have already been steamed here this morning. They're all the way up to 3 in this one against the Kings tonight. The total here, 219.5. Now, this one's going the other way for sure. Moves to the under in this one with the Knicks and the Kings. Take a look at this. Some of the numbers with these two right now. The Kings have covered 5 straight games coming in, despite losing last time out to the Clippers. 111, 110 last night. Kawhi hit the winner in overtime there to give the Clippers the win. The Kings got the money in that 111, 110 loss to keep it going. The Kings here, we had them yesterday for sure here on the Morning Steam show. We took those Kings. So can they do it here against the Knicks? We're kind of getting steamed here right now, despite the fact that they've failed to cover in 4 straight games and they've lost 3 straight. So the Sharps ready to come back saying that's enough here. We'll take the Kings. But remember, we saw, the last game or two, right, without Brunson right now, certainly a factor. It's just the Kings have no Sabonis here at this point. At least Crowder's questionable. Monk is questionable here. Look, I don't think, Brunson's out indefinitely. It's not like they're banking on a comeback here necessarily with Brunson here tonight, but still, they steamed the Knicks as the team here to be favored now by 3 here on the road. Is that really what's going to happen here tonight? I'm not so sure that's the case, but nonetheless, I'm going to end up here on the under in this one. This one keeps going lower here, and I have a feeling we're going to be looking at a game in the low 210s here, two teens, whatever you want to call it. Because for me, the Knicks have gone under in 7 of their last 10. Look, Kings are an over team as a dog, 12-6 to the over, but I'm going to take the under in this one tonight. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams here in Sacramento have gone under. That's every year. That's 8 of the last 9 years here. So, these longer term trends, but to me, it's more situational when those teams don't end up showing up in time here, and you got the Knicks on a back-to-back. So they're like I said, they failed in 4 straight, and the Kings are on a cover streak. See what you got here now and take a look at all right, let's see here. There's Super True. Damon says Golden State in that other game. Sorry, I missed that one, Damon. All right. Blue says Knicks team total under here. Rick says Kings first quarter, first half. They're going to come out storming here in this one. And College Station says going to ramp it up with OG there. Roberts on the Kings. And Damon says, give me the Kings plus the points and under. And Chad, come on, man. Don't be firing up the chat here. We're all good people here. Kings here for Damon. Plus the points. Try to delete that one if you can, Chad. All right. Well, I think or maybe not. I don't know. We could say retarded again, I guess. I guess we're back on the retarded train with the president now. We can say those things. All right. Kings and under for Damon. All right. I guess that's it for you. I'll just take the under here in this one. All right. I guess that's it for the NBA. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We've got 4 on the ice. They're not very good, quite frankly, so we can whip through this and wrap up the show. With no disrespect to the hockey, but got practically a $5 favorite. Incarnate Word and Nichols. We were talking about it earlier. Steam to the under here with Incarnate Word and Nichols. And the total there was 141. We're down to 139.5 or so. Steam to that under with Incarnate Word and Nichols. All right. Let's get moving along here right now and take a look at the hockey with the Oilers on the road here against the Sabres. What's the problem with the Sabres? What's the problem with the Oilers here right now? Now, granted, does feel like the Oilers starting to put it back together here. They've won 3 of 4. The Sabres are on a long losing streak here at this point. Edmonton coming in off wins over Dallas and Montreal by 1 goal in each of those games. Expecting Luukkonen in here for the Sabres for sure, and we'll see if Skinner. I'm expecting Skinner here in net for the Oilers here tonight. The Oilers got to look at the puck line, I think, a little bit on this one, but the Oilers are not great. We know 16-38 on the puck line as a favorite. Buffalo 23-14 as a puck line dog, but Buffalo feels broken here at this point. Maybe that the Oilers are putting it back together again here. I know this is on a road trip right now. First game of the road trip here for the Oilers, but I got to think the Oilers are they're going to romp in this game here today. I'm going to take the Oilers here. Probably could maybe read off some trends, I guess, with these two and try to talk myself out of it, but I don't know if that's going to even help here in this one. So let's go to the chat here real quick and see if you kind of cover these games. Edmonton and Buffalo. Buffalo's lost 6 in a row right now here with Sports Money says Colorado money line's the best bet today. Lay 475. Cash Game likes the Oilers on the money line. Mikey says, give me the both teams to score in the first period in this one, the Buffalo game. And let's see what else. Sports Money saying Buffalo will go up there, I think. All right, I'm on the Oilers here. The line currently is Oilers minus 190 for the most part, 6.5 over at minus 120 or so. Edmonton's gone over in 7 of their last 10 games overall right now. Buffalo 21-8 to the over at home. So maybe this will be a wild one. Give me Edmonton though in this one. All right. Damon says Sabres first period money line. Fernando says give me the Oilers and the over. All right. Thank you, Fernando. How about my gosh? Okay, here we go. Next up. Red Wings and Senators in this one. The Senators are up to $1.60 in this one. The total here is 6 flat for the most part. For the Senators here, expecting Olmark likely in goal here. He should have the advantage over Lyon. Could be Talbot, I think, here. But we'll see. I think Lyon is probably expected for me in goal in this one. Ottawa, pretty big price here, but we've seen the Red Wings all of a sudden now after that great run. They're on this big losing streak all of a sudden. 3-6-1. Let's see. Let's see if that's right. How many have they lost in a row now? 5, 6. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to. I don't have it on my notes. Nonetheless, they're on we know the Red Wings are on this losing streak right now, but Ottawa doesn't play that well against Detroit either. In fact, you look at this season series between the two teams and against Buffalo on the road. I'm sorry, I have it backwards. Ottawa 9-2 at home against Detroit. Last 11 games overall. Detroit does have a little bit better success overall against the two, but still 15-6 is Ottawa the last 21 games between the two. 4 of the last 5 between these two teams have gone under here in this one. The teams met back in January. Detroit snapped a losing streak to Ottawa with a 3-2 victory in that one. This team's tend to go under here in this roll. Detroit 11-17 to the under on the road, 17-26 to the under as a dog. Stiff price here on Ottawa, but with only 4 games and so many options, I've got to take Ottawa here minus $1.65. Kind of own this series, like I said. 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams here in Ottawa have gone over, but give me Detroit in this one. Ottawa won 2-1 here back in December. I'll take Ottawa. All right, let's see what we got here. Not much from you guys on that one. So let's keep it moving with just this 4-game card. Wrap up this show. Thank you for spending a couple of hours here with me, everybody. And take a look here now with Chicago taking on the Avalanche. Mike already said, is Colorado on the money line my lock of the day, Mike? It might be. If I had to set a real line on it, I guess it, very well could be. But my realistic line, probably minus about 285, 290. It's still ridiculous and out of control. I'm not going to do it as a premium here, but look at some of these games that Colorado has won over Chicago here recently. We know Colorado's on this winning streak overall, but they won at Chicago in January 3-1. But look at last year. They had a couple of 5-0 victories here. I would imagine that Colorado could, quote unquote, take it easy here in this one and win for fun here, maybe causing an over tonight, but we'll see. You've got Blackwood in here, 2.54 goals against. Spencer Knight getting a bad rap, I think, by a lot of people here, but it's just tough when you got not much in front of you. I think that's the problem that the Blackhawks have with their goaltending woes before here. Maybe Knight will be the guy to kind of fit the bill, but still, Chicago just 7-20 on the road this season. Looking on the puck line here, Colorado 22-30 on the puck line, Chicago 35-25 on the puck line. But I'm probably just going to lay it, even though you have to lay even a stiff price with this puck line at home. I think it's a blowout. I do think it's a blowout, and nothing I can do about laying $1.85 here, but I'm going to go with the Avalanche on the puck line. I guess you could try to work it out and lay 2 goals here. I'll just take the standard puck line minus $1.85, 4 games. Not much I could do. At least Art Thompson's on the under and Roberts on the under here as well. I'm almost skeptical on the under for the most part. But Chicago 23-28 to the under as a favorite, and or Colorado 23-28 to the under as a favorite, and Chicago 13-18 to the under on the road. But thank you to and College Station here. Might be going with the Blackhawks reverse puck line there. All right, one more. Maple Leafs and Utah here. Utah road favorite. Utah's lost 3 straight coming in. They're going to have Stolarz in there. 2.33 goals against. Stolarz done a nice job. 92% save percentage. He too kind of getting a bad rap, it feels like. Vejmelka, 2.48 goals against and 91% save percentage. Toronto playing these close games here for sure, although they got blown out in those last 2 at Colorado and at VGK. All right, here we go. And they're still on the road here, big dogs. So let's take a look here at some of the numbers with these 2 tonight with Toronto on the road. Of course, Toronto right now have gone over in 6 of their last 8 games, but Utah's gone under in 7 of their last 10. Utah's actually won 4 out of their last 5 games at home right now, but still, for the most part, the Maple Leafs have held over Utah. They've won 3 straight meetings, including back in November. 3-2, Toronto won at home. Reasonable price here, $1.20 right now, maybe even less, $1.15 or so. All right, chat, let me have it if you got a play here on this hockey card. Not great today. Here's Utah for Robert. Utah for R. Tomps. They're in lockstep, my friends, on here today. R. Tomps liking the under here. Oh, thank you there, Robert. Yeah, okay. All right. So for me, I'm going against my friends here. I'm taking Toronto to end this losing streak and beat Utah Hockey Club here tonight. That's going to do it for the morning's team. I'm on Toronto. That's going to do it for the morning's team. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. Had a fun day with you guys. And don't forget to join Mikey Money here, pre-gaming at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, as Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action here today. We didn't add any to the giveaway, but you're welcome to, talking about the parlay, consensus parlay, but you're welcome to in the chat. Type something in to become eligible right now to be in the drawing. We were kind of short on commenters today on our Monday show. Going to be less viewers in here, but I think we only had about 15 or 20 commenters in there today is what the program's telling me. So maybe we get ready for the drawing here right now. But first, you can get my best plays for today over at winnable.com. I'm going to have packages in NBA, NHL, and college basketball. You could use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those premium picks that I offer. I also have free picks in there as well. Try to have a better day on the free picks than yesterday, but Yeah, the premiums were okay. We'll have some premiums today as well. Hey, if you like me here on the show and you like coming back, why not go for 50 cents a day? I think I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. And that's when you subscribe to the monthly package at $19.95. I think the morning steam's worth 50 cents. I'd pay 50 cents to listen to myself talk for 2 hours every day. Anyway, use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Let's get ready for the drawing. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. The drawing is underway. Uh-oh. What happened to the drawing? Oh, here we go. Let's do it. There it is. Here we go with the draw. Chad, Damon, Wine Time, Fernando, Terrell, Rick, our Toms, Chad, Cascade, Terrell, and 0x Parasite has won. Thank you, 0x Parasite. Commented today, won the drawing. All right. It's going to do it for the morning steam. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the show. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more morning steam. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate everyone in the chat today. Great job from the chat all-stars. Thomas put those plays in there, and let me see if I can recite them real quick for 0x Parasite. Towson, Wilmington, Robert Morris. I think that was it. I think it's a 3-teamer, right, fam? All right. Anyways, folks, we'll see you tomorrow back here with more Morning Steam. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
That's gonna cash. Maybe make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.